Good afternoon and welcome to Lunch Break with the Rabbi. We'll be starting, just give me a moment here. Okay, for those of you watching on Facebook Live as well, just let us know that you can get to it. Just figuring it out to make sure that everybody's on. And for those of you on YouTube, hopefully you see us as well. So, as you see in today's title, today is the Rosh Chodesh Kislev, the first day of the month of Kislev. And today is, in English, it is today Tuesday, 11/17/2020, November 17th. Just a quick reminder, tonight we have our JLI course, Secrets of the Bible, which we will explore the details of Noah's Ark. And hopefully you'll be able to join us there with the Zoom address. Please text me or email me or private message me for the Zoom address to be able to watch today's class tonight at 7:30. Today is Rosh Chodesh Kislev, the first day of the month of Kislev. The first day of each month or any month is significant for the very fact that it's the first of the month. Rosh Chodesh is a significant day that there's a special prayer said. In the times of the temple, different sacrifices were brought in honor of the day of Rosh Chodesh. It's like a mini holiday. But this Rosh Chodesh Kislev, in Chabad tradition, has a very significant importance for today's day and age, especially us as people living in the 21st century, and even more so as people, I would say, of my age or the later years who got to meet the Rebbe in the last 15 or 20 years of his life. This day carries very special significance. And number one reason is because this is a day where in 1978, after the Rebbe suffering two massive heart attacks during the Hakafot, during the dancing on Simchas Torah, nobody imagined that the Rebbe would be able to continue 15 years strong and stronger than before. What seemed like a mild episode, during the Hakafot, the dancing of Simchas Torah, where the Rebbe asked for a chair, was the first time the Rebbe ever sat during the Hakafos. He made sure to finish them quickly, and later they discovered that the Rebbe had a massive heart attack. Not one, but two of them. The Rebbe still insisted on walking up to his room, insisted on making Kiddush for his wife in the sukkah at the time, even though it was only a custom the Chabad has to eat in the sukkah on Shmini Atzeres. He made sure to make Kiddush on wine, and only then did he acquiesce to the doctor's decisions and what they needed. However, all the time the Rebbe maintained that he should not go to the hospital and stayed in 770 and made his room into an ICU room. 5 weeks later, after the suffering the major heart attack, is when the Rebbe finally went home for the first time. After those 5 weeks, the day that the Rebbe returned was the first of Kislev, and that's when this great celebration that we celebrate today, that monumental time. But anybody that's experienced anything of Chabad in the last 15 years of the Rebbe's life in this world, has seen, and this is what the doctors attest, to the Rebbe's superhuman strength, that after the heart attack, he wasn't that said, you know what, I suffered 2 heart attacks, I should retire, I should cut my hours. The Rebbe said, no, God gave me that special given strength. I'm going to use it, not only use it, but use it to its fullest. The very fact that God has gifted me with this extra dose of life doesn't mean that I should retire, doesn't mean that I should stop what I'm doing, but should continue, but even stronger than before. And shortly after that, the Rebbe then continued and began the custom of giving out dollars every single Sunday to thousands of people that lined the Rebbe's office to receive that dollar of blessing and that good word and good counsel. The Rebbe taught us that when something happens in our life, there are 2 ways that we can encounter it, and there's 2 ways we can look at it. We can look at it as something that we should retreat and go back, or take it as a lesson to be able to become stronger and think out of the box of how things should be done. Think about how we can do better, how we can become stronger. The Rebbe would always mention a very famous Talmud. The Talmud discusses about if you hire a donkey to go 100 miles, it's one set price. But to go 101 miles is an exuberantly more than that 100 miles. And you may ask, but it's only 1 mile more. Why does it cost so much more? You ever take a yellow cab where they have standard fares, and the moment you go out of their restricted area, all of a sudden it jumps to so much more. But I only went 1 mile out of the area. Why is it so much more? Because it's used to doing a certain amount, and now you've got it to do extra, even though it's only a little bit more. But because you went beyond the normal amount, that's what changed. That's why it costs that much more. The Rebbe gave the example to somebody who's used to studying everything they learned 100 times. And you may say, I studied it 100 times. Isn't that enough? But Jewish law says, no, you still didn't serve God fully. You're still considered a person who is serving God out of routine. But you do it 101 times, then you truly served God. What's the difference? It's only one more time. Because that one more time, you went out of your comfort zone. You went out of your box. You went beyond yourself. Judaism teaches us the fact that the Rebbe taught us in this day, Rosh Chodesh Kislev, the first of Kislev, where the Rebbe recuperated from his heart attack. But he didn't resign. He didn't go back. Didn't resign. There was a situation and say, you know what? I'm not well. I can't. I this and that and the other. He pushed himself to go beyond himself, to go out of his comfort zone, to go out of his box. And he didn't say, well, I could, I can. The same thing also the Rebbe demanded of every single one of us. That when we're in times where seemingly we seem confined, and unfortunately these days the concept of being confined is very real. Many people are confined to their homes, are quarantined. And therefore they say, you know what? Let me just become a couch potato. Let me just confine myself to the reality and say, listen here, I can't do much. I'm not allowed to. The government doesn't allow. The doctor doesn't allow. It's dangerous. We have so many different excuses which will tell us to go back and confine ourselves and resign to the fact that we do nothing. What does Judaism teach us, tell us? That's not called serving God. That's not called purposeful. You want to feel like you're doing something, go out of your comfort zone, meaning that even while you're confined, even while you're quarantined, even while it seems dark and gloomy out there, you are going to find a way to innovate, to go out of your comfort zone, even if it's just a little bit. So if every single day you're used to studying 10 minutes, make it today 15 minutes. If you only used to put on tefillin once a week, make it twice a week. If you're used to lighting Shabbat candles once a month, make it twice a month. Make it every single Friday night. Do something. Yes, it may not be comfortable, but then you know that you've reached beyond yourself. You've extended beyond of yourself. You didn't allow yourself to settle for just the mere basics. You realize that I can do more. God expects of me to do more, or else why am I here? Every single one of us, Rosh Chodesh reminds us as the moon becomes anew. The moon becomes in the cycle, it becomes big and then it becomes small. So too the Jewish people, so too every single person. We have times we glow, we have times we shine, but we don't disappear. We know that there will be a time that we will shine once again. We know there will be a time that we will see the moon in its fullest. The Rebbe taught us that regardless of the situation, the Rebbe, right after he suffered his heart attack, this was on Simchas Torah, that the night later, he addressed the Hasidim from his room on a microphone. But he addressed them, encouraging them to continue with joy, realizing and not deterring off the mission, recognizing that they were down. He told them, yes, this is the time where we become stronger. This is the time where we resolve to continue to reach out to every single person. And the Rebbe himself was not just a man of words, was a man of action. By leading the way and by showing everybody else how to be leaders as well. In the 15 years that followed, the Rebbe had had the longest discourses, the longest farbrengens and talks, standing and meeting thousands of people that he's never done before, showing the fact and appreciating the kindness that God has given us. That if God gives us health, if God gives us the appreciation of life, we should make sure to use it to our fullest. On today, on Rosh Chodesh, on this special day, let us resolve to find within ourselves some superhuman strength. Let us resolve to find within ourselves some purpose and meaning in going beyond our comfort zone, in being that student that studies the words 101 times, even though we get used to doing it 100 times, but do it that one more time, that one time that goes beyond ourselves and show purpose and reason and how much better we will feel. And guess what? After you finish doing it 101 times, you'll want to do it 102, 103, because we know somebody that has $100 doesn't just settle for 100, they want 200. And when they want 200, they want 400. George Bezos is up to 120 billion. He still didn't retire. He wants to make another 120 billion. That's the nature of the human being. We are conquerors. God created us in this world and put us here with a mission that we should go out and conquer the world. Let's not just sit back on our couch potatoes. Let us do something, even while we're confined in our home, or even if we need to be quarantined, or even if we can't go out and do it our usual day-to-day routine. Let us find a way that we can do better, we can be stronger, and support and do and continue to do, going stronger and stronger, as the prophet tells us in the book of Psalms, going from strength to strength. And if we continue to go from strength to strength, we will ultimately come to the ultimate victory of light over dark, making this world a beautiful place, a happy place, a healthy place. We will see the moon shine once again. Every single one of us will shine and be there as a guiding light to those around us and celebrate the absolute happiness, the true joy with the coming of Mashiach. Be now, amen. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. And I look forward to joining you tomorrow again at 1 p.m. In the meantime, as I mentioned earlier, please join us tonight, 7:30 p.m. in our JLI course, Noah's Ark, Secrets of the Bible. Text me, email me, or message me if you haven't gotten yet the Zoom address for tonight's class, or join us in person, 7:30 p.m. in the synagogue. God bless you. Have a great day. Looking forward to hearing from you soon.